Hi there, this is Shawn Hansen, and I want to welcome you to today's Make It Monday. In today's training, what I'd like to do is take the colors from this absolutely gorgeous design and create a fast, easy color palette that you can instantly import into PowerPoint, whether you're working on a Mac or a PC, without having to do a lot of pointing and clicking and complicated stuff. I've got a very simple method to show you, and it all begins with this design, which, by the way, is a preview of one of the elements from the Fairyland Wishes combo pack that Becky and Carmen are launching on Wednesday, November 17th at 7 a.m. Pacific, which is 9 Central and 10 Eastern. This is part of the gold pack where you get a fully colored version of the drawings themselves and the backgrounds, and I was absolutely taken by the color combinations in this one. So we're going to turn this into a color palette. Now, to do that, I'm going to take advantage of one of my favorite sites, which is coolers.co, and I'm going to come up here and create a palette from a photo and just drag and drop that PNG image from that gold pack. Now, what it's done is it has given me an automated color palette that I can use, but I'm going to add as many colors as I possibly can, and then I'm going to do a little customizing. The way to do that is any of these colors that I don't want, for example, this color right here, it's darker than I'm going to want to work with, so I just click on it, and now I can move this around on the page, and you can see that the colors in the swatches below are changing. So I'm just going to come up here. I like that color. This purple I'm going to keep for now. These two colors are the same, so I'll click on one of them. And I think I want to pick up maybe some of this yellow here. I also don't love this brown, so I'm going to grab maybe a little bit of a darker. No, we've already got that. Something close to it. I like that purple better. This is a little dark for me. So let me come down here. That's a little bit lighter. And I'm just looking at the image, and then I'm kind of reviewing what's here to see which of these elements that I think doesn't quite fit. I don't know about this green. It's pretty, I'm not sure it fits. So notice that when you click, the cursor, the circle color picker also shows you where you are. So if I want to move a little bit away from this green and get something that's close but a slightly different tint or shade, I can do that. And I'm not loving this particularly, so let me kind of come over here. I like that better. I might actually want to go a little bit darker again with this. There we go. These two pinks are very similar. And I think I actually like this one better, so I'm going to really try and grab some of this orange. Okay, I actually really like that set of colors. So I'm going to go to Next, and there are a couple of things that I can do. I can export a palette, I can create a collage, I can save it. Now, export a palette just is sort of a bonus to this training. If you export this palette, you can create an ASE file, and that's something that you can add to Photoshop or Affinity Designer. So if you're working in those programs, that's the way to go. We're actually going to be doing this using PowerPoint. So I want to create a collage, and this allows me to see the image and also the color swatches. So I'm going to click Export, and I'm going to call this Fairyland Wishes Combo. colors and just save that to my desktop. Now that I've done that, I can close out of here. Now I want to repeat the process, and I'll show you why in just a minute. I'm going to drag this photo in, and I'm literally going to add as many colors as it'll take. Click on this, and I want to make sure I'm getting the exact same colors, and you'll see why in just a minute. Now that I have that, I'm going to go to Next, and I'm going to go ahead and open this up in the generator. That way, I've got my hex codes, and this is what's important. So in order to add a custom set of color swatches to PowerPoint, normally what you would have to do on a Mac is you would come in here and go to the colors, customize colors, and you could use the eyedropper to create new colors. On a PC, you actually have to enter the hex codes or have a plugin that will automate this process. However, there is a faster, easier way to do this, and it makes it a lot quicker and easier to do multiple color schemes. Now, I want to focus on the 6 accent colors that PowerPoint assigns. So even though I created a lot of colors here, as many as I could on coolers, just to give myself some choices, I want to take this space here and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slide 2 more colors over to give me a total of 6. And the way I do that is just click on one of these bars, the arrow, slide it over, and I think I want to take this color. And I want to work with these 6 colors here. I'm going to rearrange things just a little bit to make it a little more aesthetically pleasing to me. I also can kind of color compare to make sure that these are the colors that I want. And the order that I want them in. Now that I've done that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this template that I've created. And this is just a simple text file. It's actually an XML file, but you can open it in any text editor. And I'm going to make this bigger so that you can see. And this is what the XML file looks like if you're using a Mac. It's slightly different on a PC. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the left here and go all the way through and just focus on these 6 colors. Now, these 4 colors up here, this is the dark and the light values for your slide backgrounds and your text. So I generally try and keep these just a standard. You can play with these, but you'll notice there's black here and white here, and then a gray, a lighter dark, and a darker light variation. You can play with those, but the accent colors are really what get picked up, along with the hyperlinks. If you want to customize your hyperlinks, you can add colors here, but we're just going to focus on these accent colors because that tends to be what we use the most. So the first accent color I want, I can either come over here and just copy and paste that hex code, or I can type it in. I'm going to do the copy and paste. I'm going to come here, copy it, and I'm just doing keyboard strokes here. Paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and copy and paste. Now, I would want to go ahead and make note of the rest of these colors so that when I go back to that PNG that I created, that I can in fact put the hex codes on here if I want that to be identifiable. And if I were using that in a color scheme for a bonus or a product, I would want to make sure that I create hex codes on top of just the color swatches to allow people using it a faster and easier way to designate colors. Now, the one last thing I need to do here is I need to name this. So I'm going to call this Fairyland Wishes. And I'm just going to duplicate this so that I don't overwrite my template. And then I'm going to rename this the whole thing. I'm just going to select the whole thing and I'm going to call this Fairyland Wishes .xml. Even though I'm in text, I'm going to save it as XML, and it's going to ask me if I want to do that. And actually, it attached text to the end, so let me grab that file. And I'll drag it over here, and then I'm just going to right-click and rename. And I want to get rid of the .text, and now I'll get a warning, and I'll just say yes, use XML. And I'll close this. Now, on a Windows machine, the process is the same. It's just that the template looks a little bit different. So if I zoom in here, and I open up the Mac version again, and put these side by side, you'll see that some of the line commands are different between the PC, which is on the left, and the Mac that's on the right. But the process is the same. So I'm going to show you the rest of the process on a Mac, and then explain to you some of the differences on a PC. So I'm going to close this, and what you need to do is find out what the path is to get to your particular computer's PowerPoint color schemes. Once you do that, I created an alias, and I'm going to view this as columns, and you can see at the bottom here that my whole path is revealed. So if I go into my computer, which I've named the Mighty Mac, into Users, Shawn Hansen, my library, Group Containers, this really long .office file, User Content and Themes, you'll see here are my colors. Once you know that path, and you can trace it, then all you need to do is create on a Mac what's called an alias, and I believe it's called a shortcut on a PC. When you do that, you go into Theme Colors, and you'll see here are some of the theme colors I've created, and I'm just going to take that Fairyland Wishes, and I'm going to drop it in. Before I do that, I want to show you this PowerPoint template that I've created, and I want to show you that right now, that color scheme that I just made is not here. So below this area that says Office or all of the standard installs, I'm in the red-violet theme. Above this are the custom colors that I've created, and you'll notice that Fairyland Wishes is not there. So if I go back now to the location of these XML files and I drop Fairyland Wishes in, and I go back to my PowerPoint file, I don't have to restart or anything, boom, you see Fairyland Wishes is now there. I didn't have to do any kind of eyedroppering or hex code entering. I just added the appropriate XML code and it's there. Now if I click on it, you'll see immediately those colors change. Let me undo that. So this is the red-violet theme. If I take it to the blue theme, if I take it to the yellow theme, you'll see all of these colors change. And going back to the Fairyland Wishes, the custom colors that I just set up are there. It's a fast, handy way to do this. Now, as I said, it's slightly different on a PC, so let me give you the path for a PC. And I'm going to zoom in here. Again, if you're working on a PC, the concept that you saw is exactly the same. It's just that the XML file is slightly different. Now, on my version of PowerPoint, and I'm using Office 365 on both my Mac and my PC, the C drive uses Shawn Hansen, app data, roaming, Microsoft templates, document themes, theme colors, and Find Me XML was a color swatch that I created to be able to do a search. So that's kind of a tip. If you're not sure how to find your file path, whether you're on a Mac or a PC, just create a custom color scheme. You can just change one color and call it something that you know is not on your hard drive. So something like findme.xml. Then when you do a search, you can locate the path, and from there you can create either an alias on a Mac or what I believe is called a shortcut on a PC. Drop it in, and that's a fast, easy way to create brand new colors for PowerPoint. And as a hint, this also gives you an idea for products that you can share with your customers. Once you learn how to do this, you can explain it to them. Now, all I did once I located my XML file is I made a copy of it and I put it on my desktop, and I took a look at where all of the colors were, and I just created a template from that, and that's what you saw me change in this training video. I hope you've enjoyed this Make It Monday and it inspires you to create some new color schemes in this fast, easy way. Once again, my name is Shawn Hansen, and I will see you on the next Make It Monday.